Welcome to Chewing the Sprue, where the glue is strong, the parts are tiny, and the stories are real. This is the place where I slow things down, chat about the build, share a few laughs, and let the hobby take center stage. So, grab a coffee, a hobby knife, or both, and let's talk plastic. Doing this kind of work without an airbrush, pretty much impossible. But I still remember my first one, a trusty old Testors with 100 different size tips and a rattle can for power. It sounded like a jet taking off and sprayed like a garden hose, but hey, it got the job done, sort of. No, it didn't. It was the worst airbrush I ever owned. But I had no idea how to use it, no compressor, just a rattle can of propellant, which basically, like I said, made it into a glorified spray can with extra steps. I was younger, learning as I went, like most of us did. So, tell me, what was your first airbrush? Did you ever mess around with that old Testors setup? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear your stories. The airbrush I'm using now, it's a step up from that old Testors rig, but not by much. I'll be honest, an upgrade is definitely in my future. That said, it's not just about the gear, it's about the human behind it too. And in that department, yeah, I still got some skills to sharpen. But that's part of the fun, right? Learning, improving, messing up a few paint jobs along the way. Using this table, which is actually a door I grabbed from the restore for $5, works fine in a pinch, quick fix, right? But honestly, I'm getting tired. What the heck is that? Oh great, I've got to deal with the washer going off like it's trying to reach orbit. It's spinning faster than two astronauts in a gimbal rig. Okay, the astronauts are slowing down now. Just bear with me and we'll continue. All I need now is the ice machine to go off. And there it is. Now my voiceover is truly complete. Okay, full confession. That washer and ice machine bit was totally staged. Well, they were going on, but I just went over and filmed them. I just wanted to share the pain of recording voiceovers. I mean, old dad's modeling mess has to battle farm noises and a silo rumbling down the road, so I guess I don't have it so bad after all. So, since we're on the subject of airbrushes, let's chew the sprue a bit more and talk about modeling supplies. I'll admit it, I'm guilty of watching a video, seeing some cool new tool or product, and suddenly convincing myself I need it. But hey, if it helps make the job easier or improves the build, then yeah, I want it. We all know this hobby isn't just about glue and paint anymore. It's about building your toolbox just as much as your kits. One of my more recent I wanted items, yeah, we've all had those moments, was from Ammo by MIG. I grabbed a few of their nature effects and splashes, and let's be honest, I already had a soft spot for MIG products, so that one, total no-brainer. The textures, the ease of use, it's like modeling weathering made simple. Just open, dab, and boom, muddy magic. It's those little things that keep the spark alive in the hobby, right? Before you run out and buy that next shiny new thing, ask yourself, do I really need it? Trust me, I'm guilty of impulse buying too. But now I'm trying to build a solid toolbox of essentials before I go chasing after the latest modeling gadget. Right now I've got so many projects going on, it's like a model building marathon. I'm trying to finish at least 5 videos before I head off on vacation, so there's no slowdown in uploads while I'm away. So here's where things stand right now. The King Tiger is in the weathering stage, the Elefant has its gloss coat and is ready for a pin wash, the KB2, I'm wrestling with finishing the left side of the track link so I can finally get that into paint, and the Opal Malauder. Well, she's sitting on the sidelines for now, waiting patiently until I get those 3 buttoned up. This brings me to my next subject, streamlining the way you build a model. It's something I've really been focusing on lately, especially with so many projects on the go. I've learned that having a more organized approach not only helps speed things up, but also makes the entire process a lot more enjoyable. So, what exactly do I mean by streamlining your build? I'm not talking about assembling the kit itself step by step from the instructions. I'm talking about planning when to do all those extra touches, things like adding armor texture, removing mold seams and adding mold seams, or scratch building any small details. It's about having a game plan so you're not bouncing back and forth, slowing yourself down, or worse, accidentally damaging something you've already done. Getting those enhancements done at the right time can make the whole process smoother and your final results even better. I've been watching other creators' videos lately, trying to really break down their process step by step. The goal is to streamline my own builds, not just to make the modeling experience smoother, but to also improve my workflow for video uploads. By understanding how others tackle timing, detailing, and filming, I'm aiming to boost both performance at the bench and on the channel. I want modeling to stay a hobby first and foremost, something I generally enjoy. Filming and sharing my builds is just a bonus, a way to connect with you all. It's important that it doesn't start feeling like a job or a burden, because that would take away from the fun and creativity of the whole process. That's actually the whole point of Chewing the Sprue. Mondays are now for chilling out, working smart, and just talking shop with you. No pressure, no racing to the finish, just us and some good old-fashioned modeling mayhem. So, once I get these current builds wrapped up, and oh yeah, I totally forgot to mention the supply wagon on that list earlier, I'm going to really slow things down. From here on out, the goal is 2 kits a month. That's it, but done right in my new streamlined fashion. No more hopping between 5 builds like a caffeinated squirrel. And of course, Chewing the Sprue will be part of that plan, because sometimes you just need to stop, talk, shop, and remind yourself this is a hobby, not a deadline. Even when it comes to building models, that's always been one of my biggest struggles. Starting something, getting halfway through, and then jumping ship to the next shinier and more exciting build. It's like modeler's ADD or something, and I truly think that's part of what kept me from finishing a lot of projects in the past. Is it just me, or does anyone else fight that battle too? You see a new kit, the idea floods your brain, and suddenly the build you were working on is yesterday's news. I'm trying to break that habit, slow it down, finish strong, and really enjoy the process again. I got really excited about my channel and wanting to show you more and more. Well, I kind of landed myself in this pickle barrel of modeling kits. It's like every cool idea I had turned into a build on the bench. And don't get me wrong, I know I'm putting out good quality work, and I truly appreciate all of you for sticking around to watch it. But I owe it to you, the viewer, to keep things a little more streamlined in the future. Fewer builds at once, more complete journeys from start to finish, and maybe a little less chaos on the hobby desk. Funny thing is, I remember warning someone about this exact thing, and here I am falling right into the same pit trap. Classic. But hey, I'm not staying down there with the snakes and skeletons. Nope, I'm gonna grab the vine like that guy from Pitfall and swing right over the crocodiles. Streamlined, focused, and maybe even landing on solid ground for once. So yeah, I need to streamline my model building in more ways than one. It's not just about picking one kit and sticking with it, though that's a big part of it. It's also about having the right tools on the bench. I've got to start dialing in the techniques with the proper paints, glues, and whatever other gadgets help make things easier and better. It's all about working smarter, not just slapping parts together and hoping for the best. Making dioramas is definitely something I want to dive into for these finished builds, but let's be real, that's a whole other animal entirely. It adds a whole new level of storytelling and realism, and I absolutely want to get there, but for now, I'm going to stay focused on streamlining models themselves. The diorama phase, that'll come later, much later, once I've tamed the current modeling madness. For example, the king tiger. I've been wanting to try a dot filter technique on it using oil paints. The problem? I don't have the exact colors I need. I thought about trying it with watercolors, but let's be honest, that would probably be a total fail. So, does that mean the king tiger goes on hold? Nope. I'm just going to work with the oils I already have and get it done. Once I've got the proper tools and paints in the future, I'll revisit that technique on another tank. The key right now is progress, not perfection. So here I am going on about finishing up the models on my bench, and wouldn't you know it, that RSO build is already calling my name. I've already tracked down the model casting tracks for it, just need to grab the kit itself and some photo etch. That one's definitely on the horizon. Funny how it goes, right? Always something new whispering to us from the stash, or from the wish list. So let me ask you, what kits are calling your name lately? What's next on your bench or wish list? Let's hear. One thing that just made its way onto my wish list today are those Ammo by MIG dry brush paints. Up until now, I mostly relied on basic craft store paints. Nothing wrong with them for certain tasks, but it's time to start upgrading my paint game. These specialized paints promise more control and better results, especially for things like raised details and weathering effects. It's one of those small changes that can make a big difference, and honestly, I'm kind of excited to give them a go. What made me think of those Ammo by MIG dry brush paints in the first place was my Tiger King build. King Tiger build. I've already laid down a nice wash on the tracks, and now they're just begging for some dry brushing to really bring out those fine details, especially for you, the viewer, to appreciate it all, the hard work that went into them. Once I get that step done, I can move on to the weathering, mud, earth tones, dust, and all that good stuff that brings it all to life. It's like building a story layer by layer, and I want every step to shine. So, what paints do you have sitting on your bench? For me, it's mainly Ammo by MIG, a good helping of AK, and of course some Vallejo. Those are my workhorses, but I'm always on the lookout for something new to try. That next game-changing paint could just be one bottle away from making modeling even more enjoyable. Whether it's better coverage, smoother flow, or just a unique finish, I'm always curious. So, what's your go-to brand, or the one you've been itching to try? Here I am, finally in the painting phase of the model, and I'm just about finished, but now comes the part that's always been my Achilles heel, drying time. I've always struggled with being patient. Rushing ahead without letting things fully cure has definitely led to more than a few ruined finishes in the past. It's a hard lesson, but one I keep trying to learn. Sometimes the best thing you can do for your model is just to step away and let it dry. If you're planning on doing any type of wash, whether it's a pin wash, panel line, or general weathering, one absolute must is applying a gloss coat first. Not only does it help with the wash flow better into the details, but it also protects your paint and prevents staining, plus it makes applying decals a whole lot easier. So, let me tell you about one of my earlier and more painful attempts at using a wash. First mistake, I used enamel as my base coat, and if you've ever done that, you might already know where this is going. Second mistake, I didn't apply a gloss coat, mainly because I didn't even know that was a thing yet. So, there I was, proudly staring at my freshly painted model, thinking I was about to take it to the next level with some weathering. I grabbed my wash, thinned with mineral spirits, and started applying it. Within seconds, I watched in horror as my hard work started to melt away. The mineral spirits were eating the enamel paint right off the model, turning all the detail into a blotchy mess. It was like watching a train wreck in slow motion, and I was the conductor. I've come a long way since then, and while I still have plenty of tips and techniques left to learn, I sometimes miss those early days. There was something special about the excitement of discovery, even when it ended up in disaster. I kind of wish I still had a few of those first finished models, paint mistakes and all. They may not have been perfect, but they were honest attempts, full of enthusiasm and the thrill of learning. Alright, that wraps up this episode of Chewing the Sprue. Thanks for hanging out with me while I ramble, build, and occasionally battle the washer and ice machine. I want to give a big thank you to all my subscribers. You're the reason I keep making these videos, and I truly appreciate the support. If you're new here, consider subscribing and joining the growing community. Drop a comment about what you're building or what kit's calling your name. I love hearing from fellow modelers. Until next time, keep building, stay inspired, and remember, it's just plastic. Have fun with it. See you in the next video.